Exactly what it means, freedom of speech. Like, you can speak freely without, you shouldn't have to be punished for trying to speak freely. Like, it's kind of common sense.
The right to say what you want, when you want, at any given moment.
Well, it means being able to express your thoughts and without being afraid of punishment and freedom of press and stuff.
I think it just means that you're able to say what you want freely, and you shouldn't be judged necessarily, but it's what happens.
Freedom of speech is obviously like it like protects like your talking and like what you can say and stuff, but then with that, like there is with everything, there's limitations with it. So like I am free to express my opinions and have opinions and things like that, but I can't be a total jerk about it, I guess. I mean, obviously that's not a good defined way of saying it, but that's kind of a broad aspect of it. So I'm protected in that I can have opinions and express them, but there are limits with that.
The First Amendment to me means you can say whatever you want, whenever you want. Nobody cares. If I want to say something, that's my opinion. I'm gonna say it. Doesn't matter. That's the First Amendment. Short, simple, sweet, to the point. Freedom of speech. I get to say what I want, and as long as it's in my head, I can say it. Doesn't matter. That's the beauty of it. You can say whatever you want to. You don't need to say it. You don't need to worry about what other people think. You just have to say it because it's the freedom of speech. You're allowed to say whatever you want. That's what the freedom of speech is to me.
Well, the freedom of speech is the freedom to express your own ideas and opinions, and you can do so in whatever way that you choose. There are some limitations on freedom of speech, though, because you can't, for example, do things that could cause other people physical harm. Like you can't yell fire in a crowded theater where it could hurt people. And you also don't have the freedom to be obscene in public areas. So there's a lot of great and important and incredible things covered under the freedom of speech, which we enjoy as Americans, but it's important to realize that there are some limitations on it as well. Another limitation that comes up sometimes in the business world is something called defamation, where somebody, for example, may have said something against somebody else and defamed them, and that is something that is a limitation on the freedom of speech because you can actually get in trouble legally for that. But otherwise, freedom of speech, again, is one of the most important liberties that we as Americans enjoy that many, many other countries in the world, in fact, probably most other countries in the world, don't enjoy the same way that we do as Americans.
Almost everything, as long as it doesn't violate anybody else's freedom.
Your right to say what you want, when you want to say it, where you want to say it.
Say what you want.
When you want to say it.
Yeah, when you want to say it.
Okay, a downside of the freedom of speech that I can see is that since it's called the freedom of speech, people think, oh, I can just say whatever I want to. And that's kind of bogus, because you can't. That's the thing. There's limitations on it. Yes, you can express yourself, but I mean, you can't be like a crazy about it. Like, you know, there's limitations on what you're allowed to say. So people think, oh, it's called the freedom of speech. I can do whatever I want to. Whatever. It's called the freedom of speech. This is America. I can say what I want to. It's like, yeah, to a point. You can't be crazy about it and can't, like, do crazy things. So, limitation.
Is there a downside to the freedom of speech? Well, I wouldn't say that there's a downside to it per se, but as with any freedom that you get, there's also responsibility that goes along with it. There's times that people use the freedom of speech and use their words to hurt people, to cut other people down, to be racist, to be anti any number of causes, and they do it in the name of freedom of speech. And that's, again, with any great freedom like we have with freedom of speech, you do also have a responsibility to use your words wisely.